Hello again out there, everybody. It's 4th of November, 2025. And, you can't help it but making a video about what's going on lately. But I'll tell you, if you make videos, of course, it's like news videos is what I'm getting at. This one is really, really big. It's this USAID, scandal. And it's actually not that anything new has really happened. It's just that a lot of this stuff is getting uncovered right now. Elon Musk made some sort of a statement about it, and then that caused all kinds of reporters, all kinds of information. It's just incredible, all this stuff to get released. And this is Elon Musk called it a criminal organization, and it certainly is. It's more than just criminal. It is tremendous corruption. This is the ultimate of United States corruption. And this is the essence of it. And this gets down to CIA. This gets into the Soros foundations. Everything you can think about that's corrupt and stealing money from the American people and all people, basically. We have a reserve currency, and who knows what's going to happen even with that. It's all kinds of stuff is hitting the fan right now. So I'm going to have to try to sneak into someplace where there's not a lot of people. There's a place that has a lot of people that works over there, and they all walk by, mostly on this sidewalk, and I don't want to walk around with a bunch of people staring at me and listening to me. When it's a lot of people, it's okay, or when it's very, very few, then it's all right. But when it's a certain amount of people, people get attracted. So let me start looking at my notes here, because it's actually quite a bit, and I didn't want to make such a long video, but I don't want to listen to this guy either. So talking to his girlfriend, whatever. So, but this even comes down to funding of the thing, the reason that gets me taken down off of YouTube all the time. And, it's talking about these research facilities, and Ukraine is one big part of that, and what they were researching. And, it's the same thing as what was going on here in 2020 when people were locked down and all that, and social distancing and all that sort of stuff, and all that stuff that goes along with that. And I have to talk, as you notice, in code, because they really go after me, and I found out why. It's related to that too. It's not just related to that topic, but let me tell you, the platform that I'm speaking to you on right now starts with a G and ends with an Oogle. They're invested in it as well. They're invested. There's a company called Miobiota. Let me see. I want to make sure that I got this right, because I didn't even know this stuff. I'm jumping ahead of myself, I guess, a little bit here. So where is that at? Metabiota. And this platform even funds that, but they have an offshoot of that, and that is for Ukraine, and that offshoot is called Labyrinth. And you start to wonder, why do they call it Labyrinth? Maybe it's because they want to hide something, and that makes it hard to find something, when you're trying to find it in a labyrinth or whatever. So, gosh, look, I never noticed this. There's a big, I think it's a birch tree. Here they call them Russian trees. I don't know if you guys can see that. The stem of it is there, and I don't know, maybe it's still growing. But it looks like it was a big one. Normally they don't get that big. They're kind of like weeds. They don't get real big trunks. Maybe they just don't live that long. Maybe they cut that off to preserve it, to maybe, ensure that maybe it lives a little longer. There's as you see, some sort of a big secretive wall here. I don't know what that's all about. Maybe they put cars there. I have no idea. So I can't necessarily go inside there and look. I can stand on something maybe. Maybe I can see a little bit more about that tree. I don't know. You guys saw more than I did, me holding the phone up. So let's keep going here. So USAID, incredible. This is incredible. CIA funded. I knew that. I knew they were linked with the CIA. But I did not know to what extent they're linked with the Soros, the foundations, plural. And I guess it's a lot. I guess that is the biggest money maker for old gorgeous George Soros, and now his son Alexander is the USAID program. And it's the tune of tens of billions of dollars. It's been going on for quite some time. Samantha Powers, she's been one of the ones that were in charge of that. You know, that nasty, nasty, nasty Samantha Powers. I guess, what was she, the ambassador to the United Nations? I think, was that under Trump or Bush? I don't even know. Just some nasty, nasty woman. Was she running? No, that was Nikki Haley. You know, these nasty women are they always, to me, I get them mixed up because they're all nasty. It's like they all have the identical personality. Nikki Haley, Samantha Powers, you know. That's one reason why I like Tulsi Gabbard. She's completely different. Completely different. She's extremely intelligent. Matter of fact, she's even good looking, you know, in good shape. She stays active. She served the United States in the military, you know. I mean, and she's got a real humanity streak inside of her. Unlike these other ones, these are, I don't know, can I say the word bitch? These other ones are real bitches. You know, I mean, if you look in the dictionary under the word bitch, you'll see Samantha Powers and Nikki Haley staring back at you. So, but I won't say bitch because there may be some religious people on and don't like to hear this bad language on my channel, so I won't say that. So, look at that building. Looks like some kind of a thing that would be on a ship, wouldn't it? You know, boop, boop. Some oil tanker. I don't know. Looks like cool. I think I went by here once before, and it looks just slightly like what somebody was doing in the 1930s, the architecture in Germany. Just the portal in the front, though. Let's keep going here. Okay, so they also funded. I mean, these guys. They're basically funding all the color revolutions. And Juan Guaido, what did they give? They give Juan Guaido $100 million. You know, and what, 600 million went to the anti-Russia media in Russia. 600 million. So they cared a lot more about, you know, trying to overthrow Russia through the media than they did about Juan Guaido actually taking power in Venezuela. Only 100 million for him. I would be pissed off. You know, like Zelensky, he was kind of pissed off when the thing started there in Israel, you know, and they were telling Zelensky, oh, we have to give you cluster munitions. We're out of bombs. We don't have any bombs anymore. So, you know, that's why we have to give you the illegal ones because we don't have them anymore. And then this thing started in Israel, and it's like magic. I mean, it's like real magic. The United States came up with hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars worth of bombs, and we're sending it to Israel. I don't know. Maybe I was just taking a guess when I said that the United States is lying, and they have a heck of a lot more weapons. As a matter of fact, they got even more weapons than that. Don't ever go with this. Oh, we're out of weapons. We're out of weapons. All this stuff is just fake. I don't even know why they fake that. I really don't. I mean, maybe they think Russia's going to do something, and Russia's going to get down to no weapons, or try to make something, and then the United States will make it look like, wow, look at the productive power of the United States. Why all of a sudden, very quickly, we made hundreds of thousands of bombs to go after Russia. I'm not being serious. That's just that's just some kind of a fantasy sort of a deal. I don't know why they lie, but they lie about everything. And you know, it kind of makes me think, you know, remember all those North Korean soldiers that were fighting for Russia in Ukraine? I mean, against the Ukrainians? What the heck ever happened to them? You know? You know what happened? They're invisible. There's a technology they have in Korea, and it renders them invisible. I think it was from aliens, you know. Some aliens landed in Korea. I mean, heck, they can't just be landing in the USA all the time. They got to be landing other places. So some of them landed in North Korea, and they taught the North Koreans how to render people invisible. So that's why they're invisible now. And but actually, I think somebody said that they shipped them all home. You know, nobody saw them coming, nobody saw them going, but they're gone home. You know, it's like, wow, that's a real trick. You know, either that or they're invisible. I'm not quite sure. So we got to keep going on that one. But a lot of magic stuff going on in the world here. It's kind of like Israel. You know, Marco Rubio, I guess he was just out, it was yesterday, and he was getting interviewed, and he told the interviewer, it doesn't matter who it is, maybe you can find it, look up Marco Rubio interview or something, and you'll find it yourself. And whoever this joker was that was interviewing him, I don't know, probably somebody from mainstream media, and if it's mainstream at all, and they said, so he said something like, well, we have to really increase the pressure on Iran. and to get them to stop doing what they're doing. And the guy said, well, what are they doing? And he said, they're building a nuclear bomb, you know? And it's like an invisible program there, you know? I remember Netanyahu. It's seriously, very honestly, it was about 1984. That sounds like George Orwell-ish kind of stuff. But it was about 1984, and Benjamin Netanyahu, he came, Iran is 2 months away from having a nuclear bomb. We got to act. We got to bomb the crap out of them. United States, get going. Get over there. Get over. Bomb them. They're going to have a nuclear bomb, and they're going to go after you, not me, you. I don't know what the heck. You know, who's the servant of who? I mean, I don't know who's the puppet. You know, the United States has a lot of puppets, but I think there's one country in the Middle East that has a huge puppet. It's like I always think about it like Guardians of the Galaxy. Remember when they have that the little squirrel? No, it was a raccoon called Rocket, and he's in charge of this great big tree, Groot. I'm Groot, and little Rocket is Israel, and Groot is the United States, and I don't know. Donald Trump is so concerned about everybody playing him for a sucker. He says the whole world is playing the United States for a sucker. We're going to go after all of them. Well, I don't know. Who plays the United States for a sucker? It seems like there's another. Seems like Groot. Groot is doing that. But somebody we can call Groot. Anyway, I don't know. Maybe Donald Trump likes to be a sucker. A sucker for the right people. I don't know. What is he getting from Israel? I don't know. And all this stuff that's playing, what is he? He wants to ship all the Palestinians out, ship them to the Sinai, ship them to all the Arab countries, and it's like, I don't know. You can just keep talking endlessly about old Donald Trump. I could write essays on that guy with the stuff that's going on in his words. And it's just like these tariffs. You know, you had the tariffs. He threatened everybody with tariffs. Well, now he worked out the problem with Mexico, and I don't know. Did they work that yet out with Canada? I don't know. And now, well, he's working out something else. So a lot of these things are like, you know how Donald Trump says it's like the art of the deal. He comes out with some outrageous thing. Israel does that sort of thing too, by the way. And he came out with something outrageous. One of them, you know, that thing about stationing troops in there. It's not going to work with Russia. I tell you what, it's not going to work with Russia. But with Ukraine. Anyway, this was from Lindsey Graham. It was a while ago, so it's not like Ukraine actually did anything, but obviously, you know, Ukraine wants this money, and apparently the United States is still sending all this money and the weapons. They're doing it just in different ways. So, I don't know, maybe it slowed down a bit, but so Donald Trump has come up with Lindsey Graham's plan. I guess it was what they're going to do, apparently, and it looks like it might even be really going through, is in exchange for getting Ukraine's rare earth minerals, Trump is going to continue arming or sending bombs and money to Ukraine. At least money. So, I'm not exactly sure, but I saw a map, and it showed where most all of these rare earth minerals and things, like even like lithium, and most of it is under Russia's control at the moment. They do have some that's quite far from the zone, the war zone, but they're much less than what is located in that side. But I'm not sure about the lithium. I'm thinking that the major part of the lithium might be not really under Russia's control. I mean, you have to find out about that. I think maybe it's half-half. I'm not exactly sure. Have to look that up. But I don't know, a lot of lithium in Afghanistan, I guess, and of course Bolivia. I think the United States is getting that. So I don't know if they're really hurting for lithium. Of course, they lost their foothold in Afghanistan. I don't think Russia needs lithium. I think they have enough. I don't know about Chinese. I don't know. What else do we have here? Okay, Russian media. Oh. Actually, 600 million. I didn't say the year. 2020, it went to the anti-Russia media. That 600 million, and you know, of course, they want to get rid of Vladimir Putin, and I guess there's people in the Ukrainian parliament now calling for the assassination of Vladimir Putin. Well, guess what? They've been trying to do that. They've been wanting to do that for a long time. The United States wants to do it. I'll tell you what. The CIA they probably have continuous plans trying to find ways to knock off Vladimir Putin. I mean, they do have that already to Lukashenko. They're trying to knock off Lukashenko many, many times here. Well, what's many? You know, there's been at least 3 attempts that I know of. And there's probably been a lot more. Maybe they're not talking about them. Maybe they just never got that far. I don't know, but they want to knock off Lukashenko, the leader of this country. And it's just incredible. Lukashenko, I don't know, I tell you what, there are people here that I really don't like to, you know, I try to keep a balance maybe with some of these people that don't like the government here. They're brainwashed people, unfortunately. Tremendous PSYOP operation. But I don't want to actually sound like I'm totally infatuated or something with Lukashenko, but you've got to admire this guy. You know, he has resisted all, and he knows what he's doing. I'll tell you, I don't know, I like Robert Fico, but I don't know, I guess I'd have to say, well, which one? You know, I like the things that Robert Fico says, and of course there's a lot of good things that Lukashenko says. He never came out and flatly admitted anything, what his opinion is of, you know, that thing that we were locked down for in 2020 and all that, but Robert Fico did. So he's, I don't know if it's courage, you know, as people, some would say, oh, that's stupid. It's not courage, it's stupidity. But he's come right out and said a lot of things. But then, of course, that has gotten the deep state after him, because, as you know, and this platform that I am on obviously is part of the deep state. They support the deep state, and it's all probably active here. They might have even, you know, some of these other elements, they might have even told this platform to keep deleting me. It might even be one of them that are doing so. Oh, look at a party. Somebody's getting a birthday party here. Maybe it's for me. Cute, pretty girl with balloons. She's celebrating because she's getting to see me. So, what do we have here? I don't know. But anyway, they've been funding all of this stuff with this research and you know, what is it called? Fauci's deal there too. Okay, well, let's see. Okay, I talked a little bit about Metabiota. Rosemont Seneca, that's the Biden family's group over there in Ukraine. And, you know, they're involved with those can't say that. I wasn't going to say Labrador algorithms. I was going to say Labrador, but I didn't want to say Labrador. But they're tied to the research facilities out there, the Biden empire. You know, I guess he's still going, Joe Biden, for something. Oh, they're also tied, believe it or not, with Ebola in Africa, and I guess they had facilities there as well, and it happens to be but it's always just a coincidence that the Ebola virus broke out right near where they had these research places. I mean, actually, it's not a coincidence. These people are really smart. Somehow they knew exactly where Ebola would break out, and they put laboratories right nearby there. I mean, brilliant people. It's just like the guy whose name I can't speak about, that has a software company. You know, he knew that these big problems would come around, you know, right at the close of 2019 and all through 2020 to cause social disruption, the biggest social disruption probably, you know, in modern times, without a doubt. I mean, these guys are brilliant, and that's why he was funding all of these facilities all over, everywhere. This guy, I hope I'm going to still be able to make videos. Maybe I've gotten a little bit too close to the heart there. Things they don't like, as you all know. Okay, and Vladimir Zelensky, he was even saying how, you know, there's all these hundreds of billions of dollars that have been going to Ukraine, and he says that they're not getting it. Well, he's partly true. Part of it is not getting there. You know, I think I can't remember what kind of figures he was saying, but of course it was a lie, and everybody's come out and said it was a lie. You know, so he's been just exaggerating a little bit more and tweaking, you know, a little bit back and forth, you know, to make it sound like, well, oh, you know, this, so that he thinks he maybe don't get caught because, oh, it's just a little bit off, not so much. But the guy's probably the richest ruler in the world right now. And I remember he hit to $5 billion at some point. And then, of course, then they took it down that they're not going to be talking about, because somebody was saying he already got to $10 billion worth his value at some point in time. And I think at that time it was inaccurate, but I don't think, if you want to say that right now, I don't think it's inaccurate. I just heard of his last property was something in the Caribbean. It was, it's kind of a small house. St. Bartholomew, one of these islands, maybe it's a U.S. island, U.S. Virgin Island, maybe. And it doesn't look so impressive. It's not like a huge house, really. But I guess it's got a huge bomb shelter, really, really luxury underneath. But it doesn't look so impressive on the top. Just the kind of place you would want to go if you were some kind of a criminal that nobody could ever look for you there. I mean, in a place that they're not going to drop a bomb on, maybe. I don't know. I'm just saying. Yeah. Okay, 30 billion. Oh, Joe Biden. That's another thing with this USAID. I guess just before he was leaving, he tried to earmark, and I don't know if it ever went through, but he was trying to get 30 billion more for USAID. I mean, you're talking, this is some, I tell you what, this is probably the biggest, deep, dark, bottomless pit ever in the United States where all the money is disappearing. I don't know. You know, I mean, I've seen those pictures, and you probably have too, of these pallets full of $100 bills in Afghanistan, you know, sitting wrapped in plastic, you know, bubble plastic up to your chest, you know, just nothing, huge amounts of $100 bills. Nobody knows where that was going and what it was for, but I don't know. You'd think that the American people would maybe be up in rebellion, but nobody, it's not like nobody can find out where to point the finger, where it's going. Everybody knows where it's coming from, but I don't know. And then you can't ask, well, why is there inflation? But this money that was going to Ukraine, I mean, a lot of bureaucrats in the United States obviously stole it. Everybody's been talking about that. That's been known for quite some time. And then a lot of theft, obviously, in Ukraine. I guess they're the biggest market for Rolls-Royce cars is in Ukraine. So they buy the most Rolls-Royce luxury, the luxury models of the Rolls-Royce. Most of them are sent to Ukraine. So, you know, and lots of properties, as you know. I just heard also today that the properties in Moscow, if you want to buy an apartment in Moscow, it's now up to the same price as it is in New York and London, all of these apartments. By the way, Zelensky bought himself an apartment there too. It was on Baker Street, I think right near the place where they have Sherlock Holmes' place, supposedly, where, you know, that's a fictitious character, but he gave an address, and maybe they have it done up like a museum, and it's a real high exclusive and expensive real estate now. And Zelensky got something maybe across the street, I don't know. Yeah. And Medvedev, he came out talking about all this money too. I mean, this is really, really talked about all over. It's all over in the news over here in this part of the world. I'm not sure how much news it's bringing in the United States. I know that it's bringing some, because a lot of this was sparked by Elon Musk, you know, just by mentioning that these guys, you know. And Marco Rubio, I guess he declared he's now in charge of this USAID. So I don't know, is that going to be corruption or not? He's the same guy, didn't he say that that Iran is, you know, I just said, told you, Iran, they got to stop Iran from making this nuclear bomb. You know, they're 2 months away. They've been 2 months away from having a nuclear bomb since 1984, and nobody stopped them yet. So we got to do it. Because it's 2 months away. In 2 months they're going to have a nuclear bomb. So we got to do it. They got to do it. Maybe if in the next 4 years we'll do it, because they're 2 months away. I don't know. Yeah. So Medvedev, he said that he was talking about all this money. And he said, and then all this weapons going to Ukraine, and he said that that's why all this stuff is popping up all over the world. All this results of money and these weapons and things, because, you know, a lot of it did definitely go to Ukraine. probably the vast majority of it, but a lot of bureaucrats and things like that, they took their cut. Hey man, you give me my cut. What's my share? What's my share, man? I don't do this for nothing, man. I got a kid. She needs braces. Yeah. The wife needs a new car. She got a flat. Hey, I need a new roof. My roof is starting to leak. So, yeah, and this aid, I guess the corruption, even they go, go into Ukraine. I guess they can trace this back, all the way to 2004. The beginning of Project Ukraine. And a lot of billionaires created, as you all know. Hundreds of billions, Medvedev said, of course, and he's probably very accurate on that. And he sent a warning to Elon Musk. He said, they're going to go after you, just for saying this, just for bringing this up. Basically he told Elon Musk to watch his back, because the deep state is not going to take too kindly to this. The Soros, deep state, CIA, all these people, big source of their money, and it looks like maybe it's all dried up, at least that part of it. Oh boy, we're talking hundreds of billions of dollars. It's incredible. It's incredible. Lots of this stuff going on like that. Okay, what else? I told about well, I got ahead of myself, and I already talked a lot about this stuff anyway. But there's going to be other topics I'll be saying. It's like look at this. Maybe. Oh no, I know this. No, these guys are cleaning up inside of apartments. The government owns mostly all apartments in Belarus, and that's one reason why it's really cheap. So they keep the prices way down, and they hire people a lot of time. Like, a matter of fact, it's even true in our place, to do the stairwells. Now, I was under the misconception that we would have to do the stairwells, so I was thinking, I don't want to have an apartment on the first floor. But the worst part about having an apartment on the first floor is, you have a door and it keeps shutting, people coming in and out, and and if you, I don't know, I guess partly depends on your insulation, or maybe where the room is that you do most of your living. If for example, say you have one near the stairwell where you're sleeping, and I don't know, maybe people going in and out in the door, and you can hear the door shutting all the time at night. It's not so good. Maybe you get used to it. I have no idea. Maybe you're a deep sleeper. But I was thinking that everybody had to sweep their own stairwell, but I guess that's not even true. So it's actually a really good deal here in Belarus. And as time goes by, I tell you more and more about how much nicer it is to live here than it is in most all places in the West. And it's, I don't know, what can I say? What can I say? And I was talking about freedom. And what is better than the freedom of knowing you can go outside any time of the day? You can go at 3 o'clock in the morning at any time and never have to worry about somebody mugging you or raping you or anything like that. It's just so much less crime. You get a nicer feeling here, of that sort of thing. Oh, look at a kitty. Uh-oh, I think he's getting ready to go to the bathroom here. Looks a lot like my kitty. Can you guys see it? I don't want to sneak up on him and probably make him run while he's doing his business here. He or she. Oops, there he goes. I don't know. I don't think he's homeless. He or she, because I think it has a collar on it. Same sort of a general rule. Sometimes they can get in and out, like a lot of cats in apartments, but they're strays around, and people take care of them. Lots of people feed these animals, so you never see a starving animal, a stray cat. You never see a starving stray cat in Belarus. So anyway, I'll cut this short now because it's not that short. It's 30 minutes about, and I'll end. And I don't know when I'm going to do the next one. I just had to say something about this USAID deal. I'll tell you what, you've never seen so much corruption ever. And this is it. This is the big corruption deal right here. This shows where, all these color revolutions and everything. It shows where the money, all this stuff in Belarus, was it Voice of America probably? Most of the funding of all of this wicked stuff, and it's coming out of the taxpayers' pockets, but that's where it's going through. It's funneled through USAID more than anything else. So if they shut it down, that's great. Hopefully a lot of this stuff is going to stop, but you never know. Okay, thanks for joining me, and I'll see you guys on the next one. So bye for now.